So you're thinking of moving to Pueblo, Colorado. Well, today in this video, we're going to talk about the map. If you're not from here, you're going to especially appreciate this. We're going to jump inside the computer. We're going to pull up Google Maps and we're going to give you a little tour. What does Pueblo look like? The most recent two areas that we've vlog toured from, I want to focus on those specifically today. We're going to do Pueblo West and Pueblo County. So both are on completely opposite sides of Pueblo. One is out east, one is out west. So let's take a look, see how that looks on the map and see what it looks like in conjunction to the rest of Colorado, where, Pueblo is really located. We're going to talk about population and all the good stuff. So if you're not familiar with the area, this is a good time to tune in. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in Pueblo, be sure to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications so you can stay up to date on all the latest market trends. Hi, I'm Krista. I'm a local realtor here in Pueblo, but I grew up in Colorado in general. I'm a native from Colorado, so you're in good hands on this channel when it comes to someone who has the scoop. I've watched Pueblo change for quite a while. I grew up here since I was a little girl. I left for a couple years, I came back, and I've really watched what's happened to the area, how it's turned over, how it's changed, how it's growing. We're in touch with the future plans to really make some things boom here in Pueblo in the next several years, and there's plans for that already underway. So it's a good time to be in Pueblo, and it's a good time to be doing your research. And if at any time you need some help purchasing a home, selling a home, doesn't matter if it's 9 days from now, it could be 90 days from now, feel free to grab my contact information from the description box below. Reach out at any time, shoot me a text, give me a call. And in the meantime, maybe we'll see you around Pueblo. So let's take a look at the map today.
All right, so we're inside the computer, you guys. You can see we're inside Google Maps. So we're just gonna pull up Pueblo West. I wanna start with Pueblo West first to really show you kind of, and it's funny because as we pull up Pueblo West here on the left, gives us some quick facts. It's actually by the Pueblo Reservoir, which we've talked about several times. Pueblo West, and you'll see it on the map here. You can see that all this large body of water is actually right next to the Pueblo Reservoir, which is quite a popular reservoir. It's 60 miles of shoreline, and you can do boating, fishing, paddle boarding. There's lots to do on the Pueblo Reservoir. So we're going to show you here where Pueblo West is located. So this is where we filmed. And we actually filmed pretty far north of Highway 50. So right now, let's just bring up our little marker here so I can kind of show you. So Highway 50 is this road that goes all the way out here. As you can see, Google Maps has kind of outlined Pueblo West here for this whole area. It's rather large. And what I find kind of funny about it is if you look down here, let's change our color so it's not confusing. If you look down here on the bottom of your screen, this teal color in the bottom right corner here where I'm circling, that's considered like Pueblo proper, essentially. Look how large Pueblo West is becoming. It's literally almost overgrowing the original outline of Pueblo. It's becoming quite large. So I just wanted to show you that. And here we'll kind of go up. As you see, so Pueblo West actually will intercept I-25 perfectly. So if you're needing to go somewhere, if you need to go somewhere and you need to get to 25, if you're on the north side of 50, let me explain this. And this is kind of what we were saying in our new construction video that we just recently posted as well. In the new construction video, those homes were really far, and I'm going to say far because they are north of Highway 50. It's not the quickest drive. It's probably about a 10-minute drive from Highway 50. And as you inch out north, you're also inching towards Colorado Springs. So it is quite a bit of difference, right? Like it's not exactly like right next to Highway 50 or right next to I-25, but it's closer to 25 than it is 50 when you're going that far north of Highway 50 where Pueblo West is concerned. So a lot of people are building, and this is kind of where we were in this area right here. And this road, as you see, it actually has an exit right here. This is exit 108. It is a one-car lane under like a tunnel if you're crossing from the other side. If you're coming up 25, you get off on 108 and you want to go into Pueblo West because you came from Pueblo, because maybe you know somebody who lives out here and you're coming from Pueblo, you have to cross under a little one-lane bridge. But yeah, you have to go here and then up 25. And then 25, if you're not familiar with Colorado in general, so 25 is going to be the corridor that goes, I'm just going to drag the map here. As you can see, we're going straight up 25. And this is where Colorado Springs hits. So South Colorado Springs is really considered like Fountain, and over in this area, even like Cheyenne Mountain is more on like the south side of Springs. When you start getting more into the middle of Springs, as you can see, the airport is here, and there's actually quite a few flights out of Colorado Springs Airport. You can get a lot of direct flights, a lot of Southwest flights fly out of there, and some American flights. So you can get places for sure if you're in Colorado Springs. A lot of times it could be a cheaper option or just more options if you're going to go up to Denver. But Colorado Springs in general, so this is Springs here, whoop, even a little bit bigger than that. So if I get rid of this and show you the full map, and I have to zoom out one more to kind of give you the full idea here. So Monument is really where Springs is kind of ending these days, but I say these days because it's continuing to grow. They just keep building up there, and eventually I feel like Monument's going to kind of run into Castle Rock, which then it goes Castle Rock, Denver. So Castle Rock's in between Colorado Springs and Denver. It's kind of a really popular city. I actually used to live there. So that's a popular place there. And what's funny is this Magic Theater, by the way, fun thing to do in Colorado Springs, Cosmo's Magic Theater. He's actually related to me, and he's the best. He is so funny. His shows are amazing. He's an amazing magician. So if you guys are in the area, check it out, because he is related to me. But he's great. He's great, and you would love his show. So, and it's got 5 stars with almost 1,000 reviews on Google for a reason. So this is definitely something for. They do have kids shows, but it's definitely an adult night out, date night, family night, whatever with adults. Highly recommend. So here we are in Springs, and this is the Colorado Springs Airport here. And I'm pointing this out because I want you to see in conjunction with Pueblo West. Let's zoom out even a little bit further. So you can see this little heart right here because that's what we were just looking at. So Pueblo West is here. Colorado Springs is here. If you're just going to like Fountain, from this part of Pueblo West, it's really about a 25-minute drive. It's not far. So it's kind of nice because you can have kind of that bigger city feel. And we recently did a video about the Broadmoor. The Broadmoor is in Colorado Springs. It's a 5-diamond resort, and it's absolutely beautiful. So you've got like 5-diamond right in your backyard at Pueblo. We don't have anything in Pueblo specifically, but we do have things up in Colorado Springs, and then obviously Denver, because Denver is the capital. It's huge, and you're going to get plenty of options there. But if you wanted to go to Colorado Springs, 25 minutes to get to the south end if you're going from the north part of Pueblo West. And I say the north part because we think of Pueblo West as south of 50, north of 50. So if you're on Highway 50, which is this road right here, and you're coming up this way, Pueblo West is pretty well developed. I mean, probably into here. They joke that one day we're just going to be connected to Colorado Springs, and it's just going to be one long, there's going to be houses all the way up, because they do tend to continue building out there. The nice thing about Pueblo West too is it is a lot larger land plots usually, so you're going to have some space between neighbors. They're considered the county, so the taxes, I believe they just went up. So when we filmed the other day, admittedly, we didn't have the latest tax data. We just were working off of our most recent data that we had pulled in the last, I think it was like a year and a half or so, that it was around 3.7%. It is now closer to 5%, but it's still not the 7% that you get living in Pueblo, the city limits. So Pueblo West and Pueblo County is considered the county. And so you will not have the same taxes out there. Nice little perk. So if you're buying a car or something, you save on the sales tax because it's just not as high. So you definitely save some money there. But you can kind of see, here's Pueblo right here. Little Pueblo. It looks so small when you're zoomed out. And Avondale is actually considered the county, and Pueblo West is over here. So as you can see, Pueblo's right in the middle. If you're jumping out here to the county from Pueblo, that's about a 20 to 25-minute drive. If you're going to Avondale specifically, because that is the further part, you can actually take it all the way to a little town after Avondale called Boone, which is not showing up because we're too zoomed. Or you can go even more east, and now you're in Fowler, which is pretty far east, and there are schools there, and it is, it's by Rocky Ford and all these little towns right here, La Junta. So Avondale, 25 minutes from Pueblo. Pueblo West, if you're in downtown Pueblo, and it depends where you're going in Pueblo West, and we've talked about this too. So let me zoom in here a little bit on Pueblo West. So depending on where you're going in Pueblo West, there's 3 different exits. There's one here, that's Purcell Boulevard, the one that goes all the way out to 25. There's one here that's McCulloch, and then one here that's McCulloch West. So that is your furthest exit into Pueblo West at this current moment from Highway 50, unless they were to build something else that eventually connects back. But I don't think that would be necessary. You have 3 entry points from Highway 50 here, and Highway 50 comes from either I-25 directly. You can get off on Highway 50, or if you're in Pueblo, this road that shows 45, that's actually called Pueblo Boulevard. So as you can see, it wraps all the way around to I-25. Pueblo Boulevard also intersects here Highway 50. So it's nice because if you're on the south side of town over here, you can take Pueblo Boulevard and get out there. The other cool thing that's happening, and this is new, and I don't believe they have it showcased here because it's so new on the map yet. It's still being built, but let's see if we can kind of zoom in and see if they've added it just yet. I do want to point out, we were just talking about the reservoir. This is the reservoir. It's very large. Like I said, it's about 60 miles of shoreline all the way around and tons of stuff to do. The nice thing is it actually does connect. There is this road right here and it turns into Nichols Road and it intersects McCulloch. So let me show you what McCulloch does really quick. So McCulloch, when it intersects, it actually comes all the way around. So you can pop out at the 3rd exit, or if you take it, excuse me, if you take it back through this other side, it pops out at the 2nd exit. So it does have a full wraparound effect in Pueblo West. So you can either take it out towards the 3rd exit or back towards the 2nd exit. And so it does kind of take you where you need to go, but it also gives you this road here that intersects into Pueblo Reservoir. Now, Pueblo Reservoir is a state park, so you do need a parks pass. But if you're not familiar with how we register our tags here in Colorado, when you register your tags for your license plates, you can actually add on a parks pass for $29. Super easy to do. It used to be that you had to have a sticker that was $80, and then I think $50 for every car that was listed under your sticker in your family. And now you don't have to have that sticker. You can have that sticker if you want to. It's a nice little sticker you put up, or you can just have the little mark on your registration for your license plates that say, hey, we pay to have our car registered with the state parks pass, and you can get into any state park in Colorado. It's not just Pueblo. So that's really nice. And if you have that pass, then if you're ever trying to, some of us here locally, what we'll do is if we're coming from the south side, if we're coming from over here on Pueblo Boulevard, we will take this road right here, which is actually called Highway 96 when you're heading out west. It's Highway 96 and it kind of goes around the exterior of the reservoir. It's also how you get into the reservoir because there's roads obviously that turn off right here and they go to the shorelines. But sometimes we can take it to, we go by the dam of the reservoir. So we would go up into this road here. It's kind of hard to see because I'm not zoomed in enough, but then I think this is the road here that goes all the way through. You jump onto the main road and then you can take it all the way to the North Shore Marina, or you can come into Pueblo West. So a lot of times people will, jump on this. They'll kind of cut through if they're coming from the south part here of Pueblo. They'll go up Pueblo Boulevard. They'll cut over onto what we call Thatcher. It turns into 96 when you're heading west. But Thatcher is the local level of the street name, and then you can cut into the reservoir there, go all the way through and get into Pueblo West. As long as you have a parks pass, that's okay to do. But the other option now, and it's actually really new. Okay, so right here, where 24th Street is, they're actually building a brand new correctional facility right here. So they're extending 24th to come out across Pueblo Boulevard. So this is the boulevard. They're extending 24th to come out here. There's actually a road. So it comes out over here, pop into Joe Martinez Boulevard. So it's actually an extension. 24 will come out. This is where the new correctional facility will be, and it's extension into Pueblo West. We've never had that before. So it's actually really nice that we can now take Pueblo Boulevard and go straight over to the first exit of Purcell. And from there, you can get back to McCulloch if you want through all these roads. You can go out to Liberty Point, which we've talked about that in some of our vlog tours of Pueblo West before. You can go kind of anywhere. Obviously, you're hitting Pueblo West, so now you have access, right? Unless you need to go to the north side of 50, it wouldn't make sense to take this. But if you need to be on this side, and you can see how much of that is developed. You just see all the little lands here, all the land lines where there's different streets, and that's where the properties are. So it's a really nice access point for Pueblo West. Again, you've got the state park out there, and then it's also connected to the city by a 19-mile trail system. So there is a trail system that goes to the city, and I believe it pops out here around the zoo. So that's a nice point too. And then the views out there too. The views are going to be, you know, a little bit more deserty, lots more space. The views are fantastic. In fact, somebody was giving me a hard time the other day saying, you keep saying views in that video. And I'm like, I can't help it. I just love the fact that they're so unobstructed, because when you're out there, there's nothing obstructing the mountains. And especially on a clear day, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's breathtaking. So that is a huge perk if you're living in Pueblo West, and you will always hear me talk about that, because most houses we film have a nice view, or even if we're driving, I'm like, look at the views every time. I can't help it. So that is definitely something that's a perk. And then I just want you to take note too, before we move on to the county really quick here, that this particular area has a lot to offer. There's a golf course out here. I'll just circle some of these things since you're not familiar. There's a golf course. There's a family restaurant that offers, I believe, maybe bowling. I have not been there, but they do have, it's like a family fun center. So that's out there. Obviously, churches are out there. We've got locally owned places like Pho 50. We actually recently ate lunch there. It's really good. So the pho place is out there. And then you have your grocery store here. If you're heading out towards the north side here on Purcell from Highway 50, there is a Dollar General there. There's also one over here. I can actually see it right there. There's a Dollar General there. And so you have access to everything. This shopping center here where Safeway is, we've filmed it before. There's an I Heart mac and cheese. There's a Shiver and Shake, a Snooze mattress. Over on this side, there's a Scooter's Coffee. So there's just no shortage of things. There's also over here by Pho 50, there's a Dairy Queen, there's a Euro place, there's a Wendy's, and then over here by Safeway, there's a McDonald's. So you've got options there. I think there's a Baskin Robbins right here by the dispensary. Lots of industrial stuff. You can see there's a Walmart out here, industrial type stuff. Over here, like Auto Body, Enterprise Rent-A-Car is over here. We have lots of dispensaries back here. There's a hair place out here that it's my hair place I go to here right by Walmart. So it's the best. Headlines Pueblo West. Highly recommend, especially for the ladies who need blonde or any sort of balayage or reverse balayage. Jer there is amazing, and so is Kevin. They're all amazing. Reese, everybody there is awesome. So giving them a little shout out, because yeah, they're my hair studio, and they're awesome people, and they do awesome work. So there's that. But there's a lot to do out here. As you can see, different schools are out here. There's a high school. There's several elementary schools, some private, some not. So it's just, you can actually live fully encompassed here in Pueblo West. You don't even need to come into Pueblo, because Pueblo West, and this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video, check this out. I mean, Pueblo West is now bigger than Pueblo. Like, this is Pueblo West right here. Pueblo's over here. So it's just kind of funny, because it's actually bigger at this point than Pueblo. So it's growing leaps and bounds. And so we're just gonna have to see what's gonna come of that. And Pueblo as a whole is really growing leaps and bounds. I mean, we've got lots of newer like gas stations, travel stations coming out in this area on the north side of Pueblo into the 25 corridor. We've got gas stations popping up. They're actual travel centers with like a Black Bear Diner, a Del Taco. We've got Love's. We're trying to propose Buc-ee's to come out here. We have a Buc-ee's in Johnstown, Colorado. We've done a video on that as well, because I love Buc-ee's. But we're trying to propose them to come here. So there's a lot going on in Pueblo in general as far as the growth goes. But as you can see, this is Pueblo West. These are the things that it offers. It's close to the reservoir, has lots of trail systems, lots of space, has different rules too. It's zoned differently. So if you need to have horses or animals, you're going to want to be in Pueblo West or the county. They both share that similar allowance for animals. Pueblo city limits is like spotty with, you might be able to have a chicken or a horse here and there, but it's really just more like a burb type feel and zoning. So when you talk about the county, so let's look at the county. So Pueblo County, I'm gonna zoom in here, is really this area right in here. And Pueblo County is very self-explanatory. It's lots of space. We have a lot of farmland out there. You're going to have farmers markets that are, standing year round. So you can get chilies, you can get all the really fresh grown fruits and veggies and spices and all the things. So those are out here. They're kind of spread out. There is a elementary school out here. There's a high school out here. So you have that to be self-sufficient. Any sort of real shopping, though, you're going to want to be in the Pueblo area for. If you're looking for a Walmart, they don't have that there. They do have a grocery store. They do have a few fast food restaurants. So here, let me zoom in to just kind of get a little bit closer. I'll show you where we actually filmed, because it was right as you enter the county here. So as you can see here, the farms are popping up as we get closer. We do have an airport in Pueblo. We have shuttle flights to Denver, as you can see here on the map. I forgot to mention. We have our own little airport. It is a municipal type airport. So again, we have shuttle flights to Denver, and we have some flights that leave out of Pueblo. I don't know that we have anything direct yet. Probably going to have a connection in Springs or Denver, but it's an option if you don't want to drive and park in the larger cities. So that is an option here. But where we filmed when we came out to the county was probably really right in this area. Let me get a little bit closer so I'm not. Aha. Yes. Okay. So we're on 50. We were right here at 24.5 lane. You can see 25th here. We were kind of like right here. Now, when you come into the county, there are some newer gas stations. There's a fast food restaurant. Let's throw that away so it's not confusing. There's a fast food restaurant. Obviously over here, there's, Subway. There's a Loaf and Jug. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. That's downtown. I do know the map. I'm just not great at looking at this map. I know it's like I can maneuver anywhere with my car, but looking at it on the thing, I always get confused. Okay, so 25th lane is pretty close in to when you first start going out to the county, because it goes all the way up to in the 40s. As you inch towards Avondale, it gets up into the 40s. And you can see, there's Heidi's Horse Shows, Premier Fence, concrete places. There's, the farms are out here. So Rustler Implement Company, Air Gas Store, we've got the farms, and then there's also the river that kind of runs through all of the greenery out here, because the farms are beautiful, especially in the fall time for, hay rides and pumpkin patches and green chili roasting. I love going out to the farms to see, because they just roast the green chilies right there, and it's freshly picked, and you can get a whole bushel of them. It's so great. So we love the county. But the county is really going to be the county. It is more for people who want land, who don't mind driving a little bit into Pueblo to get what they might need. So it really is a place for someone who's content with being out a little bit further. I did hear Walmart will now deliver groceries out there, I think. So I think some people are kind of excited about that. They don't have to always travel in, because somebody can travel out to them. And I think it just depends on how far out you are. But I believe, you can get groceries delivered out there now. So it is a place for farming. It's a place for animals, if you want livestock, that sort of thing. It's also just a place for space. If you just want, your own space, you want to have a place to ride your ATV, have some extra land, or be offset, pretty far from the road, because you can have a property nice and far back. You're gonna find that sort of thing out here in the county, and that's really where we were. In fact, we filmed, and it was funny because I said the other day, when you come out to the county, you're not really gonna get the suburb type feel. And I literally picked the one house, and I didn't realize I picked it until I drove to it, that was in more of a suburb type community neighborhood, and it's one of very few that are out there kind of on the inner skirts, I'll say it, more towards Pueblo. That's not exactly your wide land. It did still have a lot of space behind it, had tons of space. Did have a larger, I think they were both acre properties or so. So they were larger plots of land that we were looking at. But it was just kind of funny, because I was trying to get the point across of how spaced out everything is. And here we are showing you a normal street that, looks like a suburb type area. We don't have suburbs in Pueblo. It's just north side, south side, east side, the west side, Pueblo West, and Pueblo County. That's really how Pueblo is thought of. So everything out here, this little bit is going to be your kind of your canals for water and the ditches and things like that. But this is all the county out here. It runs into Business 50. So Highway 50 turns into Business 50 eventually, depending on what side of Highway 50 you're on. If you're on the west side of Highway 50, it's Highway 50 West. And if you're more towards the county, it's Business 50 or 50 East. So this out here is going to be definitely pretty low key. You're not, I mean, yes, they do have places to eat, locally owned, bar pubs that have food and alcohol, or they have I can't remember the name of the farm, or not the farmer's market, the grocery store out there, but they do have a grocery store, plenty of farmer's market stands. They do have a bakery out there from one of the farmers markets that has an actual, like, its own bakery. I think it's might be Musso's Bakery or Maro's Bakery. Don't quote me on that. I've been there. We filmed on it, and I always get the two confused because they're so close in name. But anyways, this is definitely a place for space, and you will need to travel into Pueblo a little bit. I mean, they have gas stations and fast food right as you enter the county, but they're not going to be somewhere that's fully contained without going a little bit more into town. And that's just something that you need to know if you're thinking about moving to that area. But if that's what you want, and you want a place for livestock, or you want horses, I want a donkey, if you want chickens, the county is going to be that place for you. So I hope this is helpful. And just really thinking too, from a big picture standpoint, let me just show you really quick in terms of, where is Pueblo on the map in general? Let's look. Okay, so Pueblo West, the Pueblo County, it's all right here, right? You're going to go this way to Colorado Springs. And as we said, if you're coming from the northern side of Pueblo, it's really going to be about a 25-minute drive. If you're coming from the south side of Pueblo, it could be 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how far in the springs you're going. And if you're going up to Denver, you're looking at about a 2-hour drive. If you're looking at Denver International Airport, that can be up to 2.5 hours, just because it is really far east, kind of in the middle of nowhere. If you've ever flown into there, you're like, where are we? You see Denver over here, and then the airport's just kind of off in its own little world. So Denver Airport's 2 to 2.5 hours. All depends on how fast you drive, the traffic, and just the day in general. So it's not a huge drive to get to a larger and then even larger cities. Obviously Boulder, Fort Collins, where the college is. We have a college here in Pueblo though too. We have CSU Pueblo, which is the same as the one in Fort Collins, just the Pueblo version of it. So yeah, this is where we filmed. We filmed in Pueblo West. We filmed in the county. Both are places known for space and kind of a non-traditional neighborhood feel. Neither one of them really have sidewalks to walk on. It's just built a little bit differently. You kind of have the street and the property, and there's no real sidewalk that like connect, but you can still go for walks. Pueblo West does have trail systems out there that you can jump on with a bike, or maybe your rollerblades, or just walk them. And then Pueblo West also has golf courses and whatnot. The county is really going to be reserved for space of land for agricultural and other types of use for just property in general. If you want land, you think the county. And if you want land with some things that are kind of like the city, you think Pueblo West. So hopefully that helps. If you guys are thinking of making a move and you want to make it a smooth transition, you have further questions, again, my contact information is in the description box below. Feel free to grab it, reach out at any time. And in the meantime, maybe we'll see you around Pueblo.